Crimson Desert is a new massive open-world RPG. The game is being developed by Pearl Abyss Studio from the same creators of the MMO Black Desert. Filled with lot of different mechanics and with a fast and brutal combat style, looks like a mix of a action RPG with the gameplay of a hack-and-slash game. For those who enjoy titles like Assassin's Creed series, The Witcher, Zelda, and general action medieval games, I think you're going to enjoy this one, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC in the end of 2025, but with no official release date yet.
A land soaked in blood by the battles of those who seek peace.
There are beings who brought chaos to province. The rifts they have created will return everything to nothingness.
Seeking out my dreaming comrades.
What I can tell you now is that this mission will restore the
It's all right. Lunka! Don't hurt her!
The Blood of the Dawnwalker is the new game by the director of The Witcher 3. He left CD Projekt Red and is now creating a whole new game. The new studio is Rebel Wolves. They promise us to develop a AA game with the quality of a AAA. If you don't know, that's about how much money will be used in the development, and let's be honest, he knows how to make games. It'll be set in immersive open world filled with vampires, and in some moment, the protagonist will be also a half vampire. What makes it even more interesting? The gameplay will be fluid and with a lot of possibilities, and like The Witcher, you choose the destiny of the world by your decisions. What is always interesting when you want to replay the game. It's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S in 2026.
Vampires didn't come to kill us. No, they came to rule. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead. Their worst nightmare.
Welcome to Drawbridge, Sam, and to the GHV Magellan, our mobile base of operations. Come on.
Don't act like you don't see it. A lot of things changed after you went off on your own, especially within the UCA. Bridge is no longer overseas.
Death Stranding 2 is the sequel of the first Death Stranding, a very original game by the way. The game is obviously being developed by Kojima Studios, so prepare for a crazy and immersive story. The core of the game will be almost the same for what we know, but we'll obviously see some new features. After connecting everyone in the first game, we'll see the consequences of this deed in this game, and also explore a whole new area as we deliver and connect other people. The first game was once an exclusive of PS4, but today we can also play on Xbox Series or PC, as it's now a Kojima's game, and not Sony's anymore. Death Stranding 2 is coming in June 26, 2025, only on PlayStation 5, but I believe it's going to be released on PC and Xbox in the future.
World divided, made whole. With a few... The UCA's precursor, the United States of America, had a prominent gun culture. A distinctly American philosophy, and one which would appear to have spread to this continent.
Archeages Chronicles is one of the most beautiful MMORPG games announced and will probably be one of the best games in this style of its year. and it's being developed by the Studio XL Games. Explore Aurora, a vast and vibrant world brimming with rich lore and thrilling action. The gameplay looks really good, involving all types of gameplay, with lot of different weapons, enemies, and environments. So if you like MMORPG games, this is probably one that you need to take a better look, and it'll be coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and PC, but there's no release date yet.
Way. It's close. Stay here. Stand guard.
If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Dying Like the Beast is a standalone adventure from the original games, and it's being developed by Techland. In case you don't know how it works, it's an open world filled with zombies, so you need to survive using different types of weapons, which you can explore for more. But the most interesting part of the game is the gameplay itself, with a first-person camera and insane parkour movements. For the ones who like especially the first Dying Light, you should keep an eye out for this game, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows in August 21st, 2025.
He's experimenting on humans like they're lab rats. God only knows what the Baron's planning to do with those monsters.
All of the men in this room are bound by blood. This is a family. And in this family, we follow a code of honor. It is not forgiving. To be deceived do not exist among us. Do you wish to commit yourself? Life.
Mafia the Old Country is the fourth game of an acclaimed and beloved series. I mean, the third game is not that beloved, but there are some fans of it too. The game is being developed by the studio Hangar 13, the studio responsible for Mafia 3. As I said, it's not the most beloved game, but they also did Mafia 1 Remake. That's an excellent game, and now it'll be their new chance of creating a good story. The game will be released in August 8, 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows. The game will be set before of the other games, in the start of 20th century, and promises to be a game with a great storytelling like the first two games.
But you are hunting. Still think you're the hunter?
Ghost of Yotei is the sequel of the acclaimed game Ghost of Tsushima, and now we're going to play in an adventure set over 300 years later. The game is being developed by Sucker Punch Productions, and the players will explore the lands and the surroundings of Yotei and will see different types of environments through the game, since overgrown areas to cold and snowy places, all that set in the year 1603, with amazing graphics and a huge open world to explore. The first game was really beautiful, so I believe this one will be even more, and the release date was finally announced, and it's October 2nd, 2025, and it's coming out for PlayStation 5.
What are we going to do with this one, Saito?
I'm sorry it came to this, little wolf.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
Stars. Shields. I have seen the miracles you so claim. Desolate land needs a sprinkle of madness.
Remember, no matter what happens, we did not betray this world.
Ballad of Antara is an upcoming fantasy action RPG set in a fanciful and magical world with a fast-paced and fluid combat style. It's being developed by Tipsworks Studio, and in the game you shall embark on a perilous journey, seek out colossal divine creatures and recover lost and distorted essences set in a sort of open land with challenging enemies and powerful bosses. The game will be a single player, but you can also play in co-op, so for those who likes to play with friends, this one looks very good, and it's coming out in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5 and Microsoft Windows.
This shall not fall into your treacherous hands.
Wayward emissaries, grant us the forgotten miracles, rain fire
From the towering shadows, vanished into the mist.
Wayward emissaries, grant us the...
The great Silkovsky once said, "One could count 1,000,000 billion suns in the known universe. So why do we deny other intelligent beings? It is said, if they were out there, they would have visited Earth.
Atomic Heart 2 is the sequel of an original and interesting first-person shooter RPG game released some years ago. The second game promises to improve the weak points of the first game and also bring better graphics, a more fluid gameplay, and a more immersive open world, since it was the biggest flaw of the first game for me. The studio developing it is Munfish, and it's coming out to PC and consoles, which consoles are not confirmed, but probably all of the current generation.
Maybe they will visit us, but time has not come yet for this. The dawn of a new era. The era of Atomic Heart 2.
Who did you love? Believe.
It's too late to ask.
State of Decay 3 is the new and biggest game of the zombie survival series. The original games were kinda simple, yet fun, especially playing with friends, but this new adventure promises to be greater in all aspects since the graphics, gameplay, possibilities, and the universe itself. The game is being developed by the studio Undead Labs, a Xbox Games studio, and it's confirmed to Xbox Series X and S, and Windows, but I would not doubt of a PlayStation 5 version too. Unite to survive, push back the blood plague to reclaim the land's resources and carve out a life in the zombie apocalypse. It still has no release date, but is believed to be released in 2025 or 2026.
When we ventured out beyond the gates.
Kindness. Take the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise to face the hard times what does that for us.
Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
The Witcher 4 is finally the new adventure of this beloved series. The game is being developed by the studio CD Projekt Red, just like the other games of the series, and is coming out probably in 2026 or later to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The series is known for being an extremely immersive and massive RPG series, with hours and hours of content with a lot of quality. This new experience will be set after The Witcher 3, but the difference here is that the protagonist won't be Geralt anymore, but Ciri, an important character of the third game.
Don't they? Living it up with the common folk every single night. On a day-to-day basis, I'd say the true hero is me, someone who's breaking new ground with fruit.
Fable is the returning of the famous RPG series from Xbox Games. The new game will be a sort of reboot, but with the same style and personality it seems, and it's being developed by Playground Games. Fable 2026 is going to be set in a fantasy world filled with different creatures from fairy tales, set in a third-person camera, with different gameplay styles. It's a game that your choices changes the events and story of the game, like the classic ones. If you played the original Fable games, I think you are at least curious about this one, so know that it's coming out in some moment of 2026 to Xbox Series X and S, and Windows, but PS5 may be confirmed in the future.
One moment. This is awkward.
God Save Birmingham is an insane sandbox open-world realistic game about zombies. The game is being developed by the studio Ocean Drive Studio, and its early access version is planned to 2025, but only for PC, on Steam. But later the game will also be released on Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. Survive an undead plague in a painstakingly recreated medieval market town. Manage your needs, master physics-based mechanics, and evade the horde for as long as you can. A game with a realistic approach in many details, crafting, combat, movements, and possibilities, and it promises to be one of the most immersive zombie games ever.
What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously, dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason.
GTA 6 is simply the most anticipated game ever. In the game we'll take control of two different characters, Jason and Lucia, and once again we'll be able to explore the iconic Vice City. The game is being developed by Rockstar Games, probably the most beloved video game studio nowadays. This is going to be a whole new GTA game after more than 10 years. The last one was GTA 5 2 generations ago, so this one promises to be a masterpiece in a matter of possibilities and freedom. The game would be coming out in 2025, but it was postponed, and is now coming in May 26, 2026. And the game is coming out to PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. PC version shall be coming out about 1 year later.
I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
What's your name?
Jason Duval.
I seen you here before.
You might have. Hey.
Hey.
Alkahest is an action-adventure RPG set in a murky medieval world where satisfying melee combat with highly interactive environments takes center stage. Explore realistic locations, learn alchemy, and make a name for your family. The game is being developed by the studio Push On and is coming out to Microsoft Windows only for now, but there's no release date announced yet. As the youngest son of a petty lord, you're no hero. And to become someone, you'll have to prove your worth through sweat and blood. Investigating unusual goblin raids on the county border may be the chance you've been waiting for. Chrono Odyssey is a next-generation action MMORPG. The game features include awe-inspiring visuals powered by Unreal Engine 5, a vast and intricately designed seamless open-world dynamic action-based combat mechanics based on time manipulation and extensive customization. The game looks extremely beautiful since the graphics to the visual style, with an interesting combat style. It's being developed by the studio Chrono Studio, and it'll be released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and Series S, and Microsoft Windows. If you are a fan of MMORPG games, this one looks really nice, with a ravishing world to explore. The Sinking City 2 is a new survival horror game set in a world inspired in the pieces of H.P. Lovecraft. The game is being developed by the studio Frogwares. It's being developed for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and PC, and there's no release date yet, but maybe 2025 or 2026. Experience a heart-pounding survival horror as you explore the flooded city of Arkham and fight eldritch monsters beyond human comprehension. All that with insane realistic graphics made in Unreal Engine 5, with impressive visual and immersion. So if you are a fan of horror games, this is one that you need to keep an eye out for.
Attention. Due to recent flooding and pandemic, access to all external areas is restricted abnormal. Your safety in this new world is our absolute priority.
This island is cursed, I tell you. Can't live off the land. And hard work won't save you either. Yes, the glory of our ancestors has long been buried in ash. The fine folk here keep asking for more. And trust me.
Avashin Steel is an immersive third-person open-world RPG created by a passionate team that values the essence of classic old-school RPGs and modern designs. Explore the lands of a once prosperous island, hone your combat skills, and survive in the unforgiving realm of the Kingdom of the Seven. It's being developed by the studio Fire and Frost and is coming out only on Windows in the start, but there's no release date announced yet. But promises to be an interesting action RPG game with an immersive lore and universe.
Well, it is what it is. You and I are stuck here too. But who knows? Maybe all of this is a trial sent from above. Sometimes I wonder if there are any decent folk left in Greyshard.
Your ass! And you ain't paid your nugs yet?
Do the same for that one. Hey! What?
Gothic Remake is the returning of a classic and acclaimed RPG game that was officially released over 20 years ago, and now the game is coming out to the new generation, developed in Unreal Engine 5, and promises to be a great experience for fans of immersive RPG games. The studio developing it is Alchemia Interactive, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows. Return to the Valley of the Mines in this faithful remake of the genre-defining classic RPG. Explore a handcrafted, organic open world that reacts dynamically to your actions in a gritty, unrestricted experience like no other.
Creating Gothic Remake, we focus on the 4 pillars that we consider the core of the series. Simulation of a living world, exploration, story, and combat. Like the original 2001 title, Gothic Remake is set on creating an immersive and realistic world. Enjoy a complex life simulation on a scale hardly ever seen before in a video game.
Donkey Kong Banananza is the new adventure of our beloved Kong. The game will be set in a 3D style now, similar to Donkey Kong 64, but with insane graphics and set in a sort of open world with many extra challenges. The game is being developed by Nintendo and is coming out to Nintendo Switch 2, but not in the launch date, but in July 17, 2025. The game is going to be faster than ever, with a dynamic gameplay style and a Donkey Kong as brutal as never, breaking through many different stages. What looks really fun. So if you, just like me, are a fan of the series and missed the character nowadays, you can be happy now, cause this game, in my opinion, looks really fun.
Where yon the vale did I chance to see you, the little minnow in the clear, more righted though, in fayish way. A foundling here of mother's sorrow, conveyed to me by beaver, by sparrow. Blighted, yes, or so they say.
Soulframe is a new action RPG set in an open world, with a MMO experience, and is going to be a free-to-play game, and looks really good, with nice graphics, a beautiful and stunning world. The game is being developed by the studio Digital Extremes, and is set in a fanciful and magical world, with interesting enemies, including interesting boss fights, and it's not exactly a Souls-like, but a game with some aspects of Souls-like. It's being developed for a long time, even had a closed beta already, but there's no release date yet for the final version, and it's only confirmed for PC for now.
Gather motes of living world. Come gather arms against old and herd. And join our family beyond your blood. For blight.
只要我心不散，大唐就不会亡。那就再唱下去吧。 到底是人活进了戏里，还是戏本就因人而在？为何执意要起兵戈之祸？
Project The Perceiver is a new action RPG developed by a Chinese studio, Paper Games. The game is extremely beautiful, with insane graphics and impressive scenarios. It's planned to be released in 2025 or 2026, and will be released on PlayStation 5 and Windows. The game will be set in a big and immersive universe, which will be an open world. The combat of the game kinda resembles Sekiro, but with its own style. The combat is fast and fluid, with a special care for the animations of the protagonist and of the enemies too, especially the bosses. What even resembles Souls-like games, of so fluid it looks.
你来了。
We begin by hearing an old, wise-sounding voice. And we see a quiet, peaceful setting. This will make our game seem big and important. Something must break the serenity. Will this creature be in the game? No. Say goodbye to it forever. Suddenly, and for no reason, people running.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a new sci-fi FPS RPG, and will obviously be a sequel to the first game, and it's again being developed by Obsidian Entertainment. We know that the Obsidian released Avowed this year, and now they're surely working on the development of the Outer Worlds 2, and it's probably going to be in the same style of the original game, a fun open-world adventure. And it's coming out in October 29, 2025, and it's confirmed to Xbox Series X and S, Windows, and PlayStation 5, so if you played the first one on PlayStation and thought that the second wouldn't be there, yes, it will.
And like all good sequels, we've included everything that should have been in the first game. More action. More weapons. And more graphics.
The Elder Scrolls 6 is the new journey of the series after Skyrim, but we have no idea when it's coming out. It was announced with Starfield, so it means they're working in this game now, but when it shall be coming out we still don't know. It's being developed by Bethesda, and shall be released on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows.